Hey there, I am back with another deck review, and today I'm going to be looking at the Plum Pi deck from King's Wild Project. This is actually a spin-off deck, or the first of a series of spin-off decks from Jackson Robinson's really incredibly popular King's Wild Shorts deck, the Pi deck. Pi was his first foray into a cardistry deck, obviously inspired by the symbol pi and its connection to circles. But after putting this deck out, a little while later, decided to kind of play off of the pun in pie. So you got pie, P-I, but then pie, P-I-E, like the ones that you eat. So decided to create a series of decks that's going to play off of that. And so you've got plum pie as the very first one, but you can imagine there would be, apple pie, lemon pie, things like that coming in the future. So a lot to play off of and make kind of different color schemes and designs of the decks going forward. As an interesting little bonus, if you purchase these decks, the Plum Pi deck will be the first in the series, but if you collect all 8 of them, you get a little holographic sticker with each one of them. If you collect all of them, then at the end of it, you can actually get the 9th deck, the Mud Pie deck. So kind of cool extra little touch to go along with and kind of promote collecting all of the Pie decks, which I will certainly be doing. But let's take a look at the Plum Pi deck, see how it all came together. So the deck, the tuck itself is all in this really nice purple color, has a pearlescent finish, which gives it a nice little sheen to it. But very simple, very clean on the front of the tuck, just all purple with a purple debossed pie symbol, just very small there in the center. Very understated and really beautiful front. On the sides in purple foil again, you've got designed by Jackson Robinson and King's Wild Project. Bottom has your ad copy, all in purple foil, and as always has a mention of his personal Bible verse, 1 Thessalonians 4:11. Nothing at all printed on the top. And then on the back is going to be not the back design of the cards, but just features a very simple plum there in the center in purple and green foil. As you open up the flap, it says lead a quiet life. That's part of that Bible verse we're just talking about. And nothing printed on the interior or the other flaps of the tuck. So really nice, very clean, very in keeping with the style of the original pie deck as well. So very cool, and you can imagine that in different color schemes, it's gonna look really, really nice, all kind of standing together. So that's the tuck. Let's take a look at the cards. We'll start with the back design. Here it is. Has a very, to me, retro 70s vibe to it, almost shaped like a record, has that color scheme that's very 70s to it. But it's a borderless back design and just features these sort of circular patterns spinning out of this purple dot here in the center. So you got the purple dot, and then you have these lines just sort of spinning off in starts in a circular pattern and then just swoops off the edges of the cards there. Has alternating orange and then this kind of stripe pattern, almost a yellow, like a really light orange or yellow, the mint green, and then back to orange, yellow, mint green again. So kind of this alternating pattern going through along with these parallel lines going through as well. And then you have orange, that bright orange hit in the 2 corners. It's a 2-way back design, and with that borderless design and just lots of design elements there, it's gonna look really cool in fans, but also work well in spins if you can do those. So that is the back design. What about the rest of the cards? Start with the 2 jokers. And here they are, they're very simple. They just have the stars in the corner, one purple, one orange, and then just a plum in the center in that purple and then kind of a mint green color for the leaf. So very simple, very nice jokers. You do get 2 gaff cards here, double backer and a blank facer. Those are always nice to have. And the rest of the deck. So here we go. I'll start, as always, with the Ace of Spades. Has a very large spade pip here in the middle, and it has this sort of concentric circles going through, a very hypnotic and wavy pattern for it, but not much other ornamentation to it. It's very simple. King's Wild Project in very small font at the top, and then designed by Jackson Robinson at the bottom. Have the index and pip in the corner. Fairly classic style for a lot of King's Wild decks, although instead of black, it's done up in that deep purple color. And then you have these orange hits of color just in the 2 corners, which in addition to giving the deck a little extra pop of color is going to be just another thing to look nice in fans as you want to use it. A lot of thought to how you could use this deck for cardistry throughout. As you go through the number cards, so you got that same style index and pip in the corner. The pips in the center, though, are going to feature those concentric circles. And the way I picture this is, imagine that behind this deck, that it's overlaid over this, with the entire card with these concentric circles. You have one design with the concentric circles, and then there are cutaways revealing part of that design. That's kind of what this looks like. So you've got, the top part of the circles here, the bottom part of the circles here. Hope that makes sense. Maybe a little more sense if you look at the three. You can see, like, here's the center of the circles, and then as they radiate out, you can see parts of it for the other two pips. But that light purple in there, love the faded, kind of muted look that it gives it, with alternating with the white stripes in there as well. Otherwise, pretty standard orientation to the pips, nothing too special on those. And then you get to the quartz, and these are going to be the same quartz you see on a lot of King's Wild decks. These are his custom designed quartz, but they're going to be recolored in this super vibrant palette. Really like that color scheme. Again, kind of that retro vibe with the orange, purple, green mix in it, but really nicely colored. Love how these came out. Just a ton of pop to them without looking excessively gaudy. It really fits in nicely with the theme of the deck, right? Good match for the backs of the cards. There are your three spade quartz. Feature the Queen of Spades and then extra little spade pip in the corners, and they are, as always, two-way quartz. As you get into the red cards, they're kind of more this orange color. So purple and orange are the two primary colors here. Otherwise, the design's pretty much the same as what we looked at with the spades, just with diamonds this time. And then you get to the quartz themselves. They're going to be same color scheme basically, but a little bit more orange forward. So a lot more orange featured on the hearts and diamonds compared to the clubs. And here they are side by side. So the clubs are going to be a little bit more purple on them as opposed to more orange on the diamonds and hearts. So there's your club quartz. And then down through your clubs, nothing too special on these after what we looked at before. And last but not least are your heart quartz, back to a lighter color scheme there, and through the rest of the hearts. So that's it. Handling of the deck is really, really nice. As you would expect from a cardistry design deck, a lot of thought went into making sure we had a nice stock that was going to handle and fan really, really well. And it looks really nice in fans as well. All of those elements really come together to make just nice swooping designs when you want to use this in fans. And it works well from both directions as well. Just that extra little orange stripe across the top even just gives it a little bit of extra interest, no matter which direction you want to fan this from. So really nice, beautifully handling deck, and one that you could use for Magic or gameplay. Certainly for gameplay, the deck itself is very, very readable, very, very easy to use. No issues at all there. For Magic, depending on what you're doing, the borderless back can be a little bit of a distraction. Sometimes you want to be able to hide a face down card among the face up, and just that color difference is going to be a little bit distracting. But for Magic, they do include a couple of extra gaff cards, which is always nice and makes it a little bit better of a Magic option. So that's it for the Plum Pi deck. This is actually the standard edition of the deck. Just so you guys know, there are two different versions. This purple one is the standard, and then you also have the gilded edition of the deck. Same basic cards inside, but the edges are going to be gilded, and the tuck is going to be done up in a lot more of this orange color. Really a good match together as you look at these, but it's an orange colored tuck with the purple gilding all the way around. So that's the gilded edition of the deck. This is the standard edition. So that's it. That is the Plum Pi deck. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know what other decks you want to see. Subscribe for more deck reviews and unboxings. And I'll see you for the next one.